Welcome to Money Mondays with yours truly and handsome Hollywood. Hey, I came up with a new one. Terry, what do you think about that?
That's good.
Of course it's good. I'm sure you like that. You're even blushing a little bit, Terry.
I am,
I didn't mean to do that to you.
So
Anyway, how was your weekend, Terry?
it was great. Spent a lot of time with a couple of great grandkids and a couple of grandkids and also my daughter. And it was fun. We had birthdays for two great grandkids and a Halloween party. There were 75 people there, mostly kids.
And were you the ghost of yesteryear?
No, I just wore a pumpkin shirt that had a lantern, a pumpkin on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And my wife.
I understand.
Yeah, we both.
I haven't done any Halloween stuff in a long time. I know tomorrow's going to be trick-or-treating day, so the little kids will be running around. The funny thing is I live close to what's Logan Square called in Chicago.
Uh-huh.
And on the boulevard, I mean, they have like this competition. Everybody gives out like full candy bars and stuff. So people from all around the city drive into our neighborhood to go trick-or-treating on that street.
Wow.
And the funny thing is, because there's so much traffic down there, I think we've had like 3 kids show up in the last like 4 years because everybody's like 2 blocks away from us. And they're getting like shopping carts full of candy. But anyway, I think I'm going to dress up and go down there this year. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to live a new life, become a better me, Terry.
Sounds good.
High on chocolate. Anyway, tonight, our horse center will return with Sean and Lucy. They will be with the Axeman, Luis Machado. Make sure you tune in for that at 8 p.m. Eastern. Best way to make sure you don't miss a damn thing we do around here. And we hit a lot of nice picks this weekend at Monee Valley. Hopefully you caught the Foreign Friday show. Did a little bit of insomnia racing at Australia. But again, tonight, check out Lucy and Sean. Should be another fantastic show. Of course, we always have our free track of the day. That is at Golden Gate Fields, Terry's stomping grounds right there. I know Terry will be looking and playing those picks, and so should you. And the best way to do that is hit the link down in the description below. Finally, you see up here, look, Terry, myself, Tom, and Charles are going to do a phenomenal webinar this Thursday night. There's a link there. Make sure you click on it. Check it out, folks, because it's not something you're going to want to miss. You'll be more prepared. Can't promise you'll pick every winner, but nobody out there will be more prepared than you are if you tune in for that. All right, Terry, today, as always, is Monday. We're going to be at Parx like we always do, starting in El Race number uno. That's Todo Mi Español.
It's
fire away, Terry.
6.5 furlongs, claiming race with $7,500 claiming price, $21,000 purse for fillies, 3-year-olds, or fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
Mm-hmm. And a profile of that 6.5 furlong winner does favor horses with early speed, my friend. 33% of the time they get to the lead and they never give it up. It's the ticket to the winner's circle. The post position does get a small bonus, as do posts 2 and 3. There's a small discount for posts 4 through 7. 8 and out, they play fair, Terry. We do a lot of simulations around here to bring you exclusive data. Here you'll see, based upon our sim odds, we're looking for a number here that's lower than morning line and preferably higher than post time odds. Par plus, exclusive here too, based upon our 1,000 simulations. The chance the horse has to run par, speed figure, or better based upon the average winning race at that track. Speed, who's going to be on the front? That's the key component to a lot of American horse racing. So you want to know who's going to control the early tempo. And then C-zone, based upon that tempo, which horses are likely to get a pace that matches or mirrors their winning performances. Terry, what do you see in the numbers?
Well, number 4 has the most speed, although 5 and 2 show a little bit of speed too. But the 4 should get to that quarter pole first. 2 has an overlay of about 7 to 5 to like 7 to 2. And the 8 has an overlay of 6 to 1 or almost 7, about 6.5 to 1 to 10 to 1. As far as the C zones go, the 1, 6, 7, and 4 have the best C zones. And the par number 2 has the only par number that I can see.
So very good question. I apologize. I should put the link down in the description below. I will put it in the description below here on the YouTube channel as soon as we're done. So go back to the description there, and I will put it there. My apologies. And then, of course, you can get it over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet that banner there, just click on that. That'll take you there too. There's a link to guaranteed tip sheet down in the description below as well. My apologies. All right, so again, looking at that, we also do pace shape here, Terry, because we want to get a sense of how the race is going to play out. We have a Sesame Street horse in here in the 5, Princess Emma Joe. So you got 4 horses here that want to be on the lead, 3 that want to close. The 5 could get a good trip. Usually in this case, you want the speed of the speed. Peaches with a Q is the speed of the speed. As far as late speed is concerned, if they all go too fast early on, the 3 horse is the swiftest of the late closers. About a 10-point advantage over the rest of the field. And quite frankly, aside from the 4 horse, shouldn't be all that far off the lead. Should be a good setup for that one. Our total pace paints a picture of a pretty competitive race between the 4 inside horses, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's where we both went, Terry.
That's right. We sure did. I like the 3, Take It to the Max. She has finished in the money in 6 out of 7 career starts, winning 2 races, has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Back to the Future, the 2 is my second choice. She's won 2 out of the last 4 starts. She finished 6th in her last race after breaking slow as the favorite, but has a trainer who wins 20% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. And then number 4, Peach BQ, Be With Q. She finished 3rd in her last race, and her early speed running style will help her chances. She's my 3rd pick. My long shot is a 1, Johnny's Little Girl. She ran 2nd in her last race, and her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. I'm going to play a $1 daily double. I'm going to use the 2 and 3 with the 1, 4, 5, and 9.
All right. I'm going to start off. Well, we got the same 4 horses in the same order. Terry, again, pirating my computer over the weekend, apparently, but Take It to the Max. Did run a little bit quicker fractions last time out, and most likely going to see improvement in the 3rd start after the layoff. Back to the Future did get a pretty bad break at the start of its last race, so they're going to do something today to that horse to make it get a little better break and give it a weight break. A lot of breaks today for Back to the Future. Number 4, Peach, my chubby blonde Labrador girlfriend, my favorite dog, or at least the favorite dog now. Should be a part of the early action all the way around the track, Terry. Another making the classic 3rd start after layoff, but one that likes to hang late, finished 3rd at Parx, 6 races, no wins, a 2nd and 4 thirds. So put it in 3rd. Johnny's Little Girl, last time out, ran much quicker fractions. It's a horse that looks like it should be making its best move late. Those early fractions and a better move late, and perhaps moves forward today. Trifecta 2, 3, 4 over to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8 for me in the opener, Mr. Terry. What are we looking at here in terms of this race number 1? They're about to take off, so let's describe the action, Terry.
All right.
What do you say?
I think that sounds good.
All right, let's see. And are they off yet?
No, not on my screen, but
no, they're not off yet. They are not running as of yet.
Yeah, the 3 is the favorite, even money, and the 4 is at 9-2. The 2 is at 7-2.
All right, let me pop that back up in here. Yeah, they're still kind of hanging out in there. I'm trying to put in
that
the link for So you can describe the race while I put in the link. I'm almost done. Are they running yet?
They're still loading, at least on my TV.
Somebody's being misbehaving.
Yeah, they're going to bring the.
All right, so I was able to get the link in there.
Okay, there's the 3.
So there's a link in the description down below if you want to join us in the webinar in the description at our YouTube channel. So make sure you do that. Sean has been putting it on our social sites as well at Horse Race the number 2 day, Horse Race the number 2 day. Speaking of horse racing, Terry, the first race at Parx is underway. And as they get rolling out of the gates, it does look like the 4 horse, the one that we projected would be on the lead, Peach Be With Q, is on the lead. To the outside, another one that scored in there for a little bit of early pace, the 8 horse, Road to Dreams. Running in 3rd is the 7 horse, Angel of the Galaxy. Another one in there. The only one in there that didn't really fire up out of there, but it's in there too, is the 2 horse, Back to the Future, as they go through the opening quarter in 22.4 seconds. Speed does tend to hang on there at Parx. Let's see if that's indeed the case. The 4 horse continues to hold the lead. The one that looks like it's moving the best right now, Terry, is the 2 horse. The question is, does it have the legs to run by the 4 horse as they come out of the turn? The 3-horse right now is moving into probably about 4th place. Does look like the 2-horse is going to run by the 4-horse, Terry. The 4-horse is trying to do his best to block him. I don't know if he'll be able to do that or not. The 3 and the 8 are moving up aggressively at the end here. It does look like it's going to go 2-horse is going to win. Looks like the 3-horse is going to finish second, and the 8-horse is going to be your 3rd place horse, although it does look like the 6-horse is trying to get itself into contention here just to blow up my trifecta in the opening race. But it goes 2, 3, 8, 6, 2, 3, 8, and 6. So Terry's Daily Double is open. I hit the trifecta, and we're off to a great start on this Money Monday, Terry.
Yeah, it's a nice 14-1 on that 8.
Yeah, well, I'll take it every now and then, right? Every now and then, Terry, the broken clock is correct. So if you're using military time, it's only right once a day. If you're using, I don't know what non-military time is, it's right twice a day. Wouldn't allow you to sign up. I don't know why I wouldn't allow you to sign up. That's crazy. There is a link down in the description below. I have to figure out why that is, because and other people have said the same thing. So let me go look into that, Barry. I apologize. Race number 2, Terry. So maybe. All right. Anyway, race number 2. Fire away.
All right. Race number 2 are 7 furlongs. That's a claiming race, $5,000 claiming price. Purse of $18,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since April 30th.
All right. So at 7 furlongs, our typical profile of a winner does favor horses with tactical speed. About 30% of the time, they get on the lead, they stay on the lead, and they finish on the lead. There's a very strong rail bias for Lean On Me. 2 through 3 also get a little bit of a bonus. 4 through 7 get discount and a really big discount if you wear the 8 or out. So there's an absolute inside-out bias, Terry. So we're looking for inside horses with speed in race number 2. And, one of them kind of fits the bill.
Yeah, that one's got some speed, but that 7 has the most speed on the outside. So it should get there first to that quarter pole. The 9 has an overlay of about, what is that? 8 to 5. Yeah, 8 to 5 to 9 to 2. And the 4 has a very small overlay from 2 to 1 to 3 to 1. And then the par numbers 9 and 4 have the best par numbers, although they're not real high. The 2 and the 7 show the best seasonal numbers.
I think we go back to the last race. The 2-horse was the only one in there that had a chance to be over par. And look at that. Came out your winner, Terry. Wasn't the favorite, but still 2 to 1.
Yep.
So we try to put numbers together, folks, that you're just not getting anywhere else. And there's more to come down the line. I can assure you that. There's more working on up here that the only question is 24/7, right? That's all we have in a day and a week. So I run out of time at times with all the stuff that I do. Looking at our race shape here, Mr. Terry, for race number 2, you see again another Sesame Street horse in here with the 4, Boca Royalty. There's reasons to like Boca Royalty. Might be one that you want to get a little more focused on. The 8-horse so far hasn't been able to finish within 5 lengths of the leader, so maybe you can X that one out. Oui, madame, from your picks. Otherwise, it's a triangle that kind of leans heavily towards the right. That shape usually favors early speed. If that's the case, look out for Lean On Me and Knockout Kid. Those 2 of them are a little bit quicker than everybody else out of the gates, maybe half a length. Concern is that they burn one another. Late speed, Isabella Smile. We did see the 2-horse come from off the pace in the opener there, so maybe a little bit of a late pace bias today. Won't be all that far off the lead here. Wicked Jane, we're pretty close to the lead with a similar late run. That's actually maybe a little bit of a left arrow action there. Our total top pace horse belongs to the 9, the 5. Well, you got the 1, 4, 7, 5, and 9. Those 5 look like they have a little bit of an edge over the rest of the field. Terry, how many of those 5 are in your 4?
All of them. Well, 4 of them at least. The 9, Isabella Smiles, my first pick. She finished 3rd versus Tupper in her last race. She has the highest last race speed rating, and she has the highest speed figure at today's distance. And then number 5, Wicked Jane. She's my second choice. Finished 3rd in her last race, and the distance won't be a problem for her. Number 4, Boca Royalty. Is my 3rd pick. She ran 2nd versus similar in her last race. And then Lean On E, the 1 is my long shot, finished 3rd versus similar in her last race. The rail post is winning at a 21% clip. And her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. She's actually tied with another horse. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to play the 1, 4, 5, and 9 with the 3, 7, with the 1, 2, 3, and 10 with the 2, 10.
A lot of numbers there, Terry, but I certainly hope you hit it. I like the 9 horse in here too, Isabella Smile. Once again, we're starting with the same 3 horses on top. It worked out good in the first race, Terry. So let's hope that trend makes it at least through 2 races.
Yeah.
Isabella Smile did run the top last race, speed figure. That score was 4 points better than the next closest horse. Again, try to share the information I learn as I read through books on a regular basis. Andrew Beyer says if there's a 3-point advantage or better, horse has to be in your picks. Doesn't mean it has to win necessarily. Number 5, Wicked Jane. Steady stream of works getting prepped for the first race since September 9th. And the horses run pretty good at the distance. 2 times out with a win and a second. Boca Royalty for the 7th horse in a row that Terry and I agree on. Missed by a head in her last race and very likely to improve her speed number in the second start after a layoff and after increasing it the last 2 races. So maybe a third time here. First horse we disagree on, Terry, is a 7 horse here. Knockout Kid. Might not look like it on paper, but you can see here clearly this horse has a good shot to get to the lead and has a strong C-zone, meaning if it gets on the lead, it's going to be very comfortable there, Terry. I'm going to do a trifecta 4-5-9 with the 5-9 with the 1-4-5-7 and 9 in race number 2. I just looked Barry online. So when it takes you over to the Horse Racing Today sheet, all the way at the bottom is where the link is to sign up. So take a look at that. All right, Terry, let's go back and rewind race number 1. Let's get some exacta, $8.80. Trifecta paid $33.55. Happy about that. If you had the superfecta for a dime, it paid $62.63. So all decent numbers.
Yep.
Where else can you turn $1 into $8.80 with the 2 favorites, Terry, in less than a minute and a half?
That's right. Nowhere.
Nowhere. Certainly not at the bank. Although the way inflation's going, that might be the case by the end of 2024. What are we doing in race number 3?
All right. In this race number 3, we're going to go 1 mile and 16th this time. It's a $7,500 claiming race. Purse of $21,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 4 races. Pretty simple.
Yeah, they're making it easy for you today, Terry. I'm going to write the conditions book office and let them know you're taking it too easy on Terry. 1 mile and a 16th. I think we have a couple of these in a row. So pay attention to race number 3 so you can get a little bit of insights to race number 4. Tactical speed. So you probably want to sit 3rd or 4th, maybe 2nd at the quarter-mile marker. We Be There, the 1 horse, does get a little bit of a rail bonus. 2 and 3, they actually outperform 1, so maybe keep an eye on those horses as well. 4 through 7, a little bit of a discount. 8 and out, they get a big bonus. That's where most of the winning action has come from, Terry. So if you're on the outside and you have some tactical speed in race number 3, you have a pretty good shot, but it does look like, well, there's tactical speed out there, but the burners are in the middle.
Yeah, that 3 and 4, they're probably going to go head and head out of that gate and try to get that quarter pole first. The 2 shows overlay of about 7-2 to 6-1, and the 3 has a small overlay of about 5-2 to 3-1. Par numbers are 7, 2, 3, and 1 show some good par numbers, and then 4, 6, and 1 are the best C-zone numbers.
And look at the par plus, Terry. A lot of horses in here with a chance to get themselves a speed figure that is above the average winning number for this race. Gotta like that. As far as our race shape is concerned, Terry, you have one over here to 6 horse, Cape Hedge, potentially a lone E. Now, we've seen a lot of these lone E's that don't really grade out in terms of the early pace as your top E horse. There you see with the 6 horse. But I've seen them many times that they do jump to the lead because they need the lead, and then their confidence grows. Really only about a half a step off of Re-Rally, which does grade out as your top early speed horse. But Mr. Einstein, that's Terry. And Singing Through the Storm, that would, I don't know who this guy, maybe that's me, Terry. Those 3 should be about 1, 2, and 3 coming out of the gates. As they're coming down the stretch, it does look like Codependent, the 2 horse, has the most late speed by 14 points. That's a big advantage, Terry. But he's way off the lead here. He will make it close at the wire if these numbers are correct, Terry. So if they go too fast early on, Codependent will run by him at the end. Our top total pace numbers say everybody but the 5 and the 4 look like they're a fit here. You have, 5 of the 7 horses within 4 points of each other. Pretty wide open race, Terry. So how did you grade it out?
I like the number 3 Re-Rally as my first pick. Came from Monmouth Park and won his first race here at Parx Racing, and he's been having a really good year. He's won in the money in 5 out of 6 starts, and he's won 3 of those. And then number 7, Singing Through the Storm. He ran second versus Similar in his last race, and he has the highest last speed rating. Mr. Einstein, the 5, ran second versus Tougher in his last race, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 17% of the route races he has an entry in. My long shot is the 2, Codependent. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. He has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. I'm not going to make a bet in this race.
No bets for you. All right. I'm going to bet anyway, but I'm going to bet on some of the same horses that you like. I got the 3-horse Re-Rally. Should be on or near the lead in his lone Parx trip. He won it with ease. Number 7, Singing Through the Storm. This guy ran the top last race speed figure, and that included some faster fractions. Usually when I look through the past performance, an indication of a horse that's going to run a better race today. Cape Hedge, very consistent performer. One that should be closing at the end, but it's also the lone E, so it'd be interesting to see which style it takes here. And then number 2, Codependent. Unquestionably, the back class is there for Codependent. Question is the record first race after a layoff, but does have a decent work pattern getting prepped. Trifecta 3, 6, 7 with the 3, 7 over to 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7 in race number 3. Let's hold on one second. A link to we unfortunately we don't have a link to Parx Racing where you can watch it in vivo. I think you can watch replays at Parx.com or ParxRacing.com. I forget the exact name of the website night, or patha.org. I know they have some Parx information there too. So take a look at that. Univer Ovalius. Race number 4, Terry. That's what we're going to do now, right?
That's right.
All right. Let me pull it up on the screen real quick.
Okay.
All right. I'm ready for you finally.
All right. It's another race at 1 mile and 16th, $7,500 claiming race, purse $21,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races.
Making it real easy. It also starts the second pick 4 of the day. We just talked about in race 3 that 1 mile and a 16th does give tactical speed horses the edge. But still 5 out of 16 go wire to wire. There's a little bit of rail bonus. 2 and 3 get a little bonus. 4 through 7 get discounted. The best place to be is 8 and out, Terry. There are more than 8 horses, I think, in race number 4. So that comes into play. So you see a lot of horses here, Terry, that want to compete early on.
Yeah, that's right. There's many of them have speed, but the 1 and 10 show the most speed. The 8 has an overlay, a pretty nice one from just over 2 to 1 to 15 to 1. Mm-hmm. And then the 9 also has a nice overlay from 2.5 to 1 to 15 to 1. Pars, the small par figure for the 8, and the 1 and the 5 show the best C-zone numbers.
So yeah, you get that huge overlay with the 8, and the only horse in here that so far, at least according to our simulations, with a shot to go over par for this level. So if it runs to that ability, could live up to that overlay there. Our race shape, I got again another one where most of the horses you see right here want to be middle back. That means if the 3 and the 5 can get to the lead and do so on comfortable fractions, they could be difficult to contend with. Of those 2, it does look like the 3 is the fastest of the 2. So expect the 3 to get out early on. The 1 horse should be in the mix too, as we saw in our simulations. Our late speed horse is number 9, Liberty Runner, and number 8, Ormerta Code. Those 2, the closers, they'll be running, but man, they're going to be off the pace a little bit here, Terry, especially from the early runners, maybe not so much from the others. They'll have to do a lot of work in that 1 mile and 16th to close that gap. Finally, our total late pace does belong to the 9 horse and the 3 horse. So you got the closer and you got the sprinter to pick if those where you want to go. Which side are you going, Terry, closer or sprinter?
I like the 10. I think kind of a closer. Finished 3rd versus Similar in his last race. Has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 2, I Fight Kid, I guess you say. He comes in from Monmouth Park to try Parx Racing. Drops in class today. Has a high percentage winning trainer. And this trainer wins 21% of the races when taking a horse from turf to dirt. The 3, Chip's Friend, is my 3rd choice, won his last race and has a high percentage winning trainer. I like the 1, which is Running Joke, as my long shot. He ran 2nd versus Similar in his last race. His early speed style helps his chances, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. 50-cent pick 4, he used the 2-3-10 with the 2-10 with the 1-3-9-10 with the 2-9.
Okay, I'm going to go with the 1 horse in here, Terry, as we differ a little bit. for the first time today up front. I think Running Joke did run the top last race speed figure, and the resume says the horse will do better in the third start after layoff. Again, good shot to be on the lead. Very strong C-zone. We've seen that combination win. A little bit of an overlay, or at least fair pricing. Number 10, Golden Wildcat. Last time out, the horse did hold its speed a little bit longer. Consistent performer that has some occasional upside pop. We see that upside pop today to live up to Terry's first pick. Number 8, Omerta Code. Only horse that we see on the screen with a positive par plus score. Last race out, the horse made a huge jump in its performance. I look back through the past performances, and I notice when that horse does spike up, it tends to follow it up with another good race or two. And then finally, Chip's friend, Wire to Wire in its last race, winning, though, at a maiden claiming 10,000 level. Can it go back-to-back W's? It is the right distance to give it a shot because it's done it 3 times with a win and a third. Trifecta for me, the 1, the 8, and the 10, with the 110, with the 1, 3, 4, 8, and 10 in race number 4. How long do we have to race number 5, Mr.
10
Terry?
minutes.
Oh,
9
good.
minutes.
So we have plenty of time to do race number 5. We'll make our way halfway through the card. What's going on here?
All right, we're going 7 furlongs this time. It's a 12,500 claiming race. Purse 23,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 2 races.
I'm going to demand that tomorrow they make the conditions much more difficult for you, Terry. Just went way too easy, man. At 7 furlongs, again, we talked about this before. This is a race where there is a really defined inside-out bias. The closer you are to the rail, the better. Tactical speed works well 29% of the time. If you go wire to wire, gate to wire, whatever you prefer. Terry, is there any inside speed in race number 5 that we should focus on?
Well, they're all of them have some pretty good speed, especially the inside that 2 does, and the outside the 10 has the most speed according to our figures there. The 1 shows the 2 to 1 to 5 to 1 overlay, and the 5 is from 9 to 2 to 6 to 1. The par numbers, the 3 and the 8 have par numbers, but they're pretty low. Also, the 1 has a nice par number, and all but the 1 have good C-zone numbers.
Now, just looking at the 10 here, I don't have in my picks. You got the strong C-zone, good chance to be on the lead, pretty solid. Those are the sim odds, so it'd be tough to say. The 5 horse here scoring out the 1 horse with a good simulation odds, morning line odds, and a good par plus, but kind of wiggling in the back end there a little bit like a skateboard out of control. So it looks like you can make a case for a lot of these horses, but none of them really a complete picture as of yet. Our race pace shape shows us a balanced race in here. So you got a 4 that want to be on the front, 4 that want to be on the back. Does look like, though, Terry, that 1 horse is a closer. If it can get towards the front, would be a left arrow horse. Of these horses with the early speed, it does look like the 2 horse. Shell Bell has the most early speed in there, so that could be your tone setter as the race comes out of the gates. Little late luck, the 5 horse. Might be a little left arrow action in there, Terry, with that closer, who's got enough early speed to put it in contention early on. Look at the top total pace. The 9 horse, All Hail Mo, the closer. Grady got that's the highest one. We got 4 in there that are pretty similar, and then total pace, where I wanted to go. Little late luck. The 5 horse, 4 points better than the next closest group there. Then a little bit of a drop off there. So maybe all these green horses is where you will find your winner, Terry. What do you say?
All right. Well, I like the 2 Shell Bell, my first choice. She ran second her last race. She has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 34% of the races in the first race after claiming a horse, and switches to high percentage winning jockey who in the last 7 days have been in the money 7 out of 11 starts with 3 wins, 4 seconds. Number 10 is my second choice, Lurella Street, finished 3rd versus similar in her last race. Her early speed running style helps her chances, so returning to a sprint will help. And her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. Number 8 is my third choice. She ran second versus similar in her last race, has a trainer who wins 50% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. And she has a high percentage winning jockey who in the last 7 days has been in the money 15 out of 20 starts with 8 wins. Number 5 is my long shot, Little Late Luck.
Terry, it's all the rappers are Lil.
Yeah, Late Luck. And she came in for Monmouth Park and finished second at Parx Racing. And then she's a closer, so this increase in distance for her may help. no bet for me in this race.
I'm going to go with the horse you don't have, Lost Luggage, up top there at that strong par plus, strong simulation odds. Terry rides the hot rail at Parx 5 times out, a win, a couple of seconds, and a third. And last time out, this horse that does show a little bit of early ability put in some really good late pace numbers. A little late luck, did show a little bit of early race improvement in his last race. I think going the extra distance today should be beneficial. Number 2, Shell Bell did hold its speed longer in the first in her last race. This is going to be the first race off the claim for trainer Jamie Ness, which happens to hit at 34% for Jamie, regular, which is an alpha to increase over his 24-25% normal win rate. Finally, Divinatory, the 8 horse, that one ran the top last race speed figure, going to take an aggressive drop in class today. Trifecta 1-2-5 over the 1-5 over the 1-2-5, 8, and 9. We go back to race number 5, Christopher D'Souza. I'm just going to go back to 4, so he kind of tossed me for a little loop there. He likes in this race the 6 horse to win place with the 6-1-3 exacta in Trifecta. Why not, babe? Why not, babe?
I don't know. I think he likes the 5, didn't he? Corrected by saying the 5.
Well, I think he's saying, because this says race 4, and then I think he's saying he meant race 5.
Yeah, so
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Hopefully I got that right. We got the first race right there, so hopefully we can get a lot more of them right.
Yep.
Let's see if we can get race number 6 right.
All right, let's see here. This is a mile and 70 yards. It's another claiming race, $7,500 claiming price. Purse $20,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since July 30th.
And a mile and 70 yards, our profile of a winner. Early speed, about 29 out of 100, go wire to wire. There's a rail bonus, so solemn oath should do pretty well. 2 and 3 get a little bit of a discount. 4 and out, they play fair. So if any one position has an advantage, it is the rail horse, Terry, particularly if it has a little bit of early speed in race number 6. Do we find that to be the case?
No, well, there's a lot of speed in here, so who really knows? Although the 8, 5, and 10 show the most, and then also the 8, 5, and 10. Also, the 8 has an overlay as pretty nice one. It's like 6-5 versus 6-1, and the 10 has a small overlay from 3-1 to 5-1. As far as the par numbers, the 1, 8, 9, and 10 show pretty nice par numbers, and then all but the 3 show good season numbers.
I like to look at this race from a perspective like this, Terry. Look at that. Boom. This one's totally tilted over here to all the speed horses. That should open the door for either the speed of the speed or the horses with some late legs. Speed of the speed goes to the 4 horse, although it does have some company from the 8 and the 7. As far as our late speed, which I think is where this race will be, likely 1 horse coming down the stretch, passing tired legs of a bunch of sprinters early. That could be the 9. Your lone closer, the Sesame Street horse here, should definitely pick off a lot of tiring legs. So maybe one that you can wheel around in exactas and trifectas if you like some others. Maybe get a good price on that one. Our total pace does top out 2 horses in here that are 7 points better than the next, the 8 and the 10. Fine 1-1 and Matula. Those 2 are considerably better than the rest. Terry, are they in your picks?
Well, I like Matula as my first pick. Number 10 ran second versus Tougher on her last race. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer, and this trainer wins 30% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again and switches to high percentage winning jockey. Number 9, Miss Chamita,
I think.
Chamita. She has won 3 out of 6 starts at Parx races, so likes the track. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning jockey, and she has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 34% of the races when taking a horse down 2+ classes. Number 1, Solemn Oath, my third pick. She ran second versus Simon in her last race. The rail post is winning at 18% clip, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and switches to high percentage winning jockey. The 3, Not a Trace, my long shot, won her last race at Parx Racing, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters, actually tied with another. No bet in this race again for me.
There he's sitting on the sidelines a lot today, my friend. I got the 8 horse up there, Terry, as my top pick. Fine 1-1. Top last race, Speed Figure going to drop in class off of that today. Terry, I like that combination. It's a really consistent performer, too. So you're going to have to beat this one. It's not just going to lay down for you. Number 10, Matula. First up record is solid. So this one coming off the bench with fresh legs. Does have a couple of nice works getting prepped to use those fresh legs. Miss Chimita, the 9-horse in there. Terry drops in class after running some better times last out, despite the fact that the horse ran a little bit longer. So you run faster and longer. That makes you doubly fast. Finally, number 6, Speightster's Gold. This one's moving down in class to a level where the last time she competed, she won by 8 lengths, Terry. 8, 9, 10 over the 8, 10 over the 1, 6, 8, 9, 10 for me, for my trifecta in race number 6. And Christopher D'Souza coming in and say, forget about Terry and Rich. I'm going with the 5, the 7, and the 9 with his selections.
Yeah. All right.
He's always playing a little bit of shot action there. So race number 2 is about to come up in just a minute, Terry. I don't know that we'll necessarily have the time to do too much for race number 7 for us.
Yeah, they say it's 0 minutes.
Yeah, they're walking around the back. So real quickly again, tonight, make sure you join Sean and Lucy as they talk to the Axeman, Luen Machado on Horse Center. That will be at 8 p.m. Eastern. The best way to make sure you don't miss anything here is hit the subscribe button while you're on YouTube. Follow us on X. I suppose I just changed that on the bottom there. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Horse Race, the number 2 day. I think we're even on Getter and all the other platforms that are out there as well. So you can check us out there. Of course, if you'd like to join us on Thursday for our webinar, there is a link here. When you click on that link, it'll take you to the Horse Racing Today page. And at the very bottom, you will see the place where you can sign up. So make sure you do that. We will have the most complete coverage, bar none, of what's happening this Friday and Saturday at Santa Anita. Race number 2 is off and running, Terry. And early on, it does look like the 7-horse and the 1-horse are the 2 that win for the lead, although the 7 kind of went in a little jog mode action. Let the 1-horse lean on E, take the early tempo. The 1-horse is your favorite right now at 2-1, and I don't have that horse anywhere in my picks. I don't know what's wrong with me. The 7-horse is second right now on the rail. You do have the 4-horse as well as the 2-horse trying to make their claim into this race. They went to the opening quarter in 24-1. It does look to me, and I don't know if it's going to work out like this way or not, but like the 1 ran up the track a little bit coming through the turn there. So I don't know if he's going to tire or not. Boca Royalty pulling up alongside the 1-horse. Does look like right now he's going to get the advantage on the 1-horse as they come through the turn there. Next up on the list, going to make a move. It looks like it's going to be the 5-horse in there, Terry. As the 4-horse has taken the lead. The 1-horse, it did look like I said, he ran up the track a little bit on that turn. The 1-horse on the outside that's going to make a move right now is the 9-horse. The 4-horse maintains the lead. The 5-horse is doing all of it can to get by the 4-horse. It does after they ran at 6 furlongs in 1:15-1. The 9-horse is making a pretty aggressive move down the stretch here. So it's going to go 5, 9, 4, 2, I think. 5, 9, 4, and 2. And the 3 that we agree on again, Terry, come home, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So maybe we should get together before every show and agree on what we're doing.
That's right. We should, huh?
Seems like it's working out today, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So who was the favorite there? The 5-horse is 3-1.
9-horse.
The 9-horse was 8-5. So, all right,
Yeah.
We'll take a 3-1 to start.
That's
Where
right.
did it go? 5, 9, and then who finished third?
4, I think.
All right, so back-to-back trifectas for me, and Terry is alive in his pick 4.
And I got my double.
And you got your dub. So we're off to a wicked start, as they say in Boston.
Yep.
Let's go off to race number 7. 3 races to go. Let's see if we can continue our good run here. Terry, what are the particulars for this one?
6 furlongs, $7,500 claiming race, $21,000 purse for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 4 races.
Now I know why we're doing well here, Terry, because you didn't have to spend a whole lot of time getting ready for that part of the show.
Yeah.
Well, 6 furlongs is yet another speed distance that does favor horses that are tactical, but a bunch still go wire to wire. The post positions are predominantly fair 1 through 7. You get a little bit of extra octane if you wear the 8 or higher. Terry. So speed does play a role in race number 7, but it doesn't really matter where on the track you are with that speed.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that 9's got the most speed, although the 3 and the 6 shows a little bit. The 2 has an overlay of about 7 or 8 to 5 to 3 to 1. And the 4 has an overlay from 9 to 2 to 8 to 1. Par numbers on here, the 2, 4, and 9 show the best par numbers. And then all of them have some kind of C-zone numbers.
For sure. So, yeah, looking pretty good on the C-zone. Got a good 2 here with a nice number there. Look at this 9 horse in there, Terry. Going to be on the lead. Good shot to run par or better, and has a good, strong C-zone. Might be a little bit comfortable if it gets pressed a lot. Let's see if that'll be the case in our race shape. Not really. Most of the horses are middle back, although you do have one horse in here that is a Sesame Street horse that you have to be concerned about. Scintillating Star, the 2-horse, your lone EP. It has a lot of versatility, can go anywhere on this track depending upon the early pace in there. As they come out of the gate, it does look, at least recently, the 3-horse, the PC type, Baby Fade could be your tone setter, although I don't think it will. I think it would probably prefer to be in like a stalking row mode. So maybe the 9-horse in there. My 3 Butterflies or the 6 Little Red Button. They are the ones that go out early on. So they come around the stretch, coming for home. The 11-horse, Schnur Will, along with More Ransom and Scintillating Star. There you go. There's that lone EP type. Does have the late speed to make something of the early speed. And then our total pace says that the 2 has about a 3-point advantage over the 6, 9. Pretty competitive race down here, Terry. Maybe only the 7 that you can completely write off according to total pace. Open race, and yet we agree on the first 2.
Yeah, that's right. I like the 2 Scintillating Star. She won her last race at Parx Racing, has the highest last speed rating, and has a high percentage winning trainer. The 9, My 3 Butterflies, is my second choice. She won her last race at Parx Racing, drops off for the win, and has a trainer win 66% of the time when he drops a horse off a win. More Ransom, the 8's my third pick. She finished in the money in 6 out of 9 races this year, winning one of those, and has finished in the money in 8 out of 11 races at today's distance. Number 3 is my long shot, Baby Fade. Drops in class today and has a high percentage winning trainer. 50-cent pick 4 from me, the 2, 9 with the 4, 5, 8. I'm going to single the 1 in the 9th, and then I'm going to finish up with a 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, and 12.
Oof, that's a lot of horses there, Terry. So race number 2, the Exacta 5, 9, $10.30. Our top 2 horses. That'll work out, Terry. The trifecta, only $17, but I don't think I spent my whole 100 today, so I got 50 back so far. Not too bad.
You only spent $90.
I was on the cheap side today. And then Terry, your daily double paid $13.50. So far, everybody, well, we're collecting a little bit. Let's see if we can continue on that collection mode. I like in here the 2-horse, Mr. Terry, as my top selection in race number 7, Scintillating Star, just like you. Top last race speed figure. Resume says the second off the bench is likely to be a lot better than the first off the bench. And is that lone EP horse. Should get a really nice trip in here. Number 9, My 3 Butterflies. This horse won its last race. Going to drop in class. Something that Luis Linder Jr. has done 3 times this year, so not that often. But he won 2 of them. So when he does it, seems to be the right move. Number 4, Collins Gray Lad. Speaking of which, my nephew, Colin, 20th birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, young man. This one's running down to her lowest level in the last 10 races and showed better early pace last time out. So maybe we'll see continued improvement here. And finally, the 11, Schnur Will. This one's catching a 10-pound weight break after kind of a lackluster race last time. Let's see if maybe that can help that horse at a good price. Pick 4, 2, 4, 9 with the 1, 8, 1, 5, 9, 1 with the 3, 7, 8, and 9 is my lone pick 4 of the day, Terry. Christopher D'Souza says, play that 1 horse. Takes 2 to wiggle. Yes, indeed it does. And then with the 1, 6, and 8. So it'll actually take 3 to collect with Christopher's trifecta. 3 races to go, Terry. That starts, if my math is correct, with race number 8.
That's right. Race number 8 is 1 mile and 70 yards. It's an optional claiming race of $35,000 claiming price. Purse $52,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races other than maiden, claiming, starter, or state bred, or which have never won 3 races, or claiming price of $35,000.
There you go. Finally putting Terry to work, earning his no money today. mile and 70 yards. As we mentioned a little bit earlier, early speed. Again, about 30% of the time they go wire to wire. Real bonus for 10 gauge. 2 and 3, get a discount, and then 4 and out, played fair. So again, speed, like Parx can be, is the way to the winner's circle more often than not. But again, we find a race where everybody, Terry, has at least some chance to be on the lead.
Yeah, there's a lot of, most of them have some speed, but the 3 and the 8 show the most. The 2 has an overlay of about 7 to 5 to 6 to 1, and the 8 has an overlay of about 5 to 2 to 4 to 1. The par numbers, the 2 and the 8 show the best par numbers, and the best C numbers are the 7 and the 8, along with the 2. So there you go.
And just a composite, the one that seems to get the most green is Road Trip to Nowhere. You got the overlay, pretty good chance to run a speed figure at par or above for this level. Good shot to be contention from the beginning. Maybe a little bit weak on the C-zone side. Our race shape for the 8th race, everybody's kind of bunched middle forward. The 5 horse being a lone E, so if it can get the lead, the 5 should become courageous against this group. But it looks like, Movistar, that one could get the lead. And it's an EP, so it's comfortable on the lead, or it's also comfortable in the stalking position. Same for Road Trip to Nowhere. So it looks like the 5 horse is the one that's going to probably have to push it early on to get out front to be in a comfortable spot. Our late speed says your analysis, yes, my analysis says this one has a 7.6 point lead over everybody else as they come down the stretch. And the interesting thing is this is a PC type, so it's not necessarily married to closing, but you can see with that early speed is probably going to close. And then our total pace numbers say the 2 horses there, the 2 and the 8, 5 points better than the next closest group in there, Terry. That means they should go nose to nose at the finish line, about 1 length in front of everybody else. Well, I have the 2, you don't, so maybe we can throw that 2 out.
Yeah, well, I don't know. That was my one of my alternates, but I like the 8 Road Trip to Nowhere as my first choice. Won his last race at Parx Racing, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and has a bullet workout on October 12th. Helium before is my second choice. Finished in the money 3 out of the last 4 races, finishing 8th in his last race on a slappy track, which I don't think he took to. And he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 5 is my third choice, ran second in his last race. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. The 7, People Force, is my long shot. He won at his last race at Parx Racing, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. No bet for me in this race.
I got the 8 horse on top today too, Terry. So we agree a lot of horses on the top today, and hopefully they don't all get back down to 1 to 5 once they find out how strongly we started. But Road Trip to Nowhere, top last race, speed figure, has a bullet workout, a fast bullet workout coming into its first race since September 11th. 10 gauge, very consistent performer in here. The only time the horse ran over the Parx course, it won, and it did so with ease after coming in from a higher level track. Number 5, Simovic at Parx, 8 races, 1 win, 6 seconds. So I guess it likes to finish second. Last time out, didn't win either as the favorite. Trainer Jacinto Solis wins at 32%. The next time he brings out a beaten favorite to the track, that's by far his best angle. And again, could be your loney if it gets on the lead there, Terry. Finally, number 2, your analysis, the other of the 2 horses to tie for the top total pace in here, does have a pretty good late pace edge at the end with the strongest par plus. So he's the most likely horse to run a speed figure at or above par for this level. Race number, let's see what we got going on here. Friends, which are the strongest act band hands? I don't know what an act band hands are, Terry, but who's your best bets of the day, Terry?
It's the next race. It's number 1 in the next race. What's the name of this horse?
Well, we'll get to it the next race.
Yeah.
All right. Good question in here, Abstruse Alan. We haven't put these sheets together for sale yet. It's something that we're contemplating doing. I have a little bit more data I want to add in before we do it and kind of rework the visualization a little bit. But if you're a software guy, you can help me do that. I'll tell you what, we'll do it. You can have them for free. I don't know if that's your line of work, my man, but if you can write programming, and I just had like this bolt of lightning hit me in the head. So if you are, it's not a coincidence. All right.
And look here, we have a guy that likes Golden Gate today. He's made all kinds of picks on all the different races. So good luck to Kazi, I think.
Kites?
Kais. Yeah.
Kaiser. Nice. All right. Kaiser Sensei. I remember he was in
Yeah.
a movie somewhere, wasn't he? I forget which
Yep.
movie. Maybe somebody knows. All right. So I got a trifecta in here with the 158, with the 18, with the 1, 2, 4, 5, and 8. Race number 9 is next up at the beginning of the late daily double. So go ahead, Terry, and read off some longer conditions.
That's it. It's a 7 furlong race, and it's another optional claiming race with 35,000 with a purse of 25 or 52,000 for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races other than maiden, claiming, starter, or state bred, or which have never won 3 races or claiming price of 35,000.
We're going to get them up eventually, after Sal, and it's something I'm trying to work on. One of the possibilities, and I'm trying to learn it, but again, as I mentioned earlier in the day, with all the different hats I wear, sometimes finding a 25th hour in the day is a little bit difficult, or an extra day in the 7-day week. But I'm trying to maybe work with AI to help me out a little bit. I'm learning some new things with the Chat GPT and the Bing and a couple of other that are out there that maybe I could just upload the information into the AI. So if anybody out there knows how to do this and you're interested in, getting the sheets for free, reach out to me. You can do so at gtsrichb@gmail.com. You can hit me up in the DMs on my Twitter at HRTRich. Of course, we're right on here. Just comment and give us your contact information. I'll reach out to you. All right, race number 9, Terry, 7 furlongs. That's the one where you have that very strong inside to outside bias. And also 29% of the time horses go wire to wire. I was just thinking for a moment in there too. Some of the other data that we want to really do as well, like really get granular on post positions and where the horse is on the track at the quarter-mile marker, the half-mile marker, where just really start to pinpoint the style, racing style that wins at distances and surfaces, along with all of our data, so that you can really have a composite picture of how things are going to work out. All right, Terry, the way race number 9 is going to work out is early speed is going to matter. With the data that we do have, boy, it sure looks like Empire Pass is the one they have to pass.
Yeah, that's that horse should be fine as long as it gets a good break. And the 5 also has a nice overlay from 4 to 5 to 4 to 1. The par numbers, several of them have decent par numbers, as you can see there, and all but the 3 show some kind of C-zone numbers.
And then our pace worksheet tells us in race number 9, most of the horses middle back there again, Terry, so should give an edge to the horses that want to be forwardly placed, which is the bias of the track there anyhow. Looking at the early speed, the 5 horse, Terry, you got yourself some left arrow action there. The closer, the 8 horse, Knowing Glance, that one also has some early speed there, so closer should be more forward than normal. The first early speed horse that we see up in there is the 6. That one's most likely to go to the lead, I think, with the 5 and 8, because the 6 will be more lead dependent. As far as your late speed is concerned, the 4 horse, in my opinion, has the most late speed. That's what the data says anyway. But look at that right there, the 5 horse, Empire Pass, right there again, Terry. So it should sit second, third, maybe even on the lead, and has some of the most late pace. As far as our total pace is concerned, you can imagine that 5 horse does get to the lead. But look at these 4 right here, Terry. Far and away, these 3, far and away better than the rest of the field. All of them at least 5 points better than the next group. I have to say, the odds favor the winner coming from the 4, the 5, and the 9. And we only have the 5 and the 9. So everybody go out, load up on the 4.
All right. Well, I like the Bazinga C as my pick of the day. She's finishing the money in her last 10 starts. She's won 5 of those, and she has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. So done really well. Number 9, Knickers in a Twist. Knickers in a Twist.
You should know what knickers are, Terry. I'm sure you have quite a few of them hanging up in the closet.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure I do. But she has finished in the money in her last 10 starts, winning 1 of those, and has a good 4 furlong workout on October 24th. Empire Lass of 5 is my third choice. Won 3 out of the last 4 races, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. The 8, Knowing Glance, is my long shot. She ran second in her last race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And that combination the last 14 days have won 4 out of 7 starts. I'm going to play $10 to win on number 1. I'm going to play a $1 double with the 1, 3, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, and 12.
All right, so last week, Terry, you and Christopher got in the ring. You knuckled it up. It was Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. It ended up being just as boring because neither one of you hit anything. So you guys want to square up for that coffee again? He's got the 6, you got the 1. Both of them are your best bets of the day. Chris, if you're in, thumbs up in the comment section. Terry, are you afraid or are you ready to knuckle up again?
I'll go for it.
All right. And just to be fair, Terry, I'll give you an extra $10 on your budget today to put on that one horse. So you got 20 to win on the one.
All right.
There you go. Chris, you win? Let's see what he says. Pick of the day. We're still waiting for Chris's comment. Maybe he's the one whose knees are shaking right now.
Yeah.
All right. For me, I like the 5 horse. You're both wrong.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. All right. Christopher's in. $10 for coffee. I love it. You're both going to be wrong. The 5 horse is going to win. It's not necessarily my pick of the day, though, because I don't really make those anymore. Strong chance to be on the lead for that 5 horse. Check that out in there. It does have also a very strong chance to be an overlay. Has the highest opportunity to run a par plus figure in there. I love that as well. And that combination usually wins. So and we'll see. If not, Terry's Bazinga is going to be right in there too. We'll see. The resume says Bazinga is very likely to take a substantial move forward in the second start off the sidelines. Knickers in a twist. Yes, Terry's favorite attire when he was, what was that? The 1300, somewhere in there. This one had a huge explosion in its early pace last time out. And that was a really good workout afterwards. So I got a feeling that horse is super sharp. Then finally, Knowing Glance, the 8 horse for me. Second off the claim for trainer Jamie Ness. It's a 30% winner for an ordinarily 25% winner, delivering some excess return at Parx a couple of times with a second and third. Problem with this guy is he's the early speed fade type. So let's see if Jamie can find the magic formula for that horse to have more stamina at the end of the race. 159 with the 1-5 with the 1-5, 7, 8, and 9. You're welcome. So you got 2 of them right there. You can just do one of those. I know folks overseas like to do the Dutch betting, so that should open up some Dutch betting for you, Tafum. So you can maybe put enough money on both. Find yourself a Dutch calculator. I do think there's one on Guaranteed Tip Sheet where you can put in how much you want to bet, put in the odds, and it'll tell you how much to put on each horse to turn a profit if either one of them win. Last chance for you and I to find a winner today, Terry, will be the final race at Parx. That's race number 10. We'll do 10 races again tomorrow, Terry and I at Parx. Be at the same time, so you're going to want to make sure you tune in for that. But before that, Terry, tune us in to the details.
7 furlongs again. It's a $10,000 claiming race with a $26,000 purse. It's for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since July 30th. Claiming races for $8,000 or less not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
All right. So 7 furlongs. That's the one again where the inside out is the most predominant bias probably we see at the track, aside from speed. Speed does matter. Again, at 7 furlongs, a bunch, about 30% go wire to wire. In the last race of the day, Terry, if you have some inside speed, you got a shot. So maybe the George Thoroughbred horse, bad, can contend.
Yeah, that could be. But the 7 and the, let's see. Well, most of them have pretty good speed. The 7, 11, 12, 3, they all show the best amount of speed. So anyway, this, yeah, the 7 shows a nice overlay from 3 to 1 to 9 to 2, and the 11 has an overlay from 5 to 2 to 5 to 1. 7, 11, and 12 show the best par numbers, and the 10 and the 12 have the best C-zone numbers. So.
This is the race that obviously you feel is wide open, Terry, because it reflected in your pick 4 and your daily double. You got like almost the entire field.
Yep.
I just, from a pace standpoint, man, it just looks like you got to go with the 11 or the 10, especially if they can get on the lead. Although the 1, 8, and 12 do have some PC ability, so they're very versatile. So I would say, just if I had no other data to work off of, I would say that your winner is going to come from this 5. If this is all that I could look at. Does look like the 11 horse, 5-point early pace advantage, though there's a lot of other speed to its inside. If it can clear, the 11 horse does want to be on the lead. If it can get to the lead, its confidence will grow. Good shot to go wire to wire, especially if you get a decent price on that. This Hurricane Highway, the PC type, I mean, it's really outside of the 11, not going to be all that far off of everybody else. And 101 is a stakes level ability. So the 8 horse is in contention at all. So you got the 11 and the 8 off of this picture so far that I would definitely want to focus on. May not be where I ended up. Then if you look at your top total pacing here, Terry, pretty competitive race. So I would say maybe all the way down to the 11 horse or even below. So I kind of agree with you on the fact that this horse's race is wide open. It'd be interesting to see what happens, but I could see a scenario where the 8 and the 11 runs on the lead almost all the way around the track, and then the 8 passes him a little bit late as I make a mess of my desk, Terry. Don't make a mess of your picks.
All right. Well, I like that 8-horse Hurricane Highway. Has had a good career, finishing in the money 70% of the races, winning 19% of those starts. Likes his distance, finishing in the money 50% of the races and won 25% of the starts. The 7 Strawberry Cone, second choice, finished second versus Simmer in his last race and earned the highest last race speed rating. Smart Humor, which is the 11, is my third pick. Won his last race at Parx Racing, and his early speed running style will help chances. The 12, my long shot, Sensible Jim. He finished third versus Simmer in his last race and can improve at the shorter distance. I'm out of money, so there's no bet for me here.
I'm out of money. I'm out of hope. Feels like self-destruction. All right, I'm going to go with the 8-horse for me, Terry, as my final pick of the day. Excuse me, the 7-horse. I'm confusing myself. I'm preferring your picks, I suppose. Strawberry Cone, last time out, the horse showed much better pace numbers from the beginning to the middle of the end, and that most of that was concentrated in the front part of the race. Let's have a pretty good par plus in there and an overlay. Number 8, Hurricane Highway at Parx, 4 times 8, win a couple of seconds in the third. Last time out, just missed by a little bit. And today they're going to take 5 pounds off the horse to see if indeed that works with the horse that has some dynamic late pace. My Devil's Child, top total pace horse. I know I've seen a lot of kids like that at the stores when they don't get bubble gum or something. Why don't their parents just give them a crack, Terry? I know it's 2023, not like the old days, but you didn't see that when parents could still give their kids a little whack. Anyhow.
Yeah.
Last race was better than it looks with a little bit. I never whack my kids. Not like that. Usually like that. Works better. Just kidding, of course. And then finally, the 3-horse Bad, third after layoff, does like the distance, 2 times out, a win and a second. And this horse probably has the most upside in the field, Terry. 7, 8, 9 with the 7, 8, the 3, 7, 8, 9, and 12. And now everybody thinks I beat up my kids. That's not true, though. All right, race number 10. Christopher D'Souza, he says the 4 horses your winner Hornbeat in there with the 12 and the 1 in his exacta and trifecta box. Do pay attention to what Chris has to say, what Terry and I have to say, and whatever picks come into the system as well, because we get a lot. I don't know about you, Terry, but this inevitably happens. Like the other day, I think it was Melvin Torres came in and he said, "What about the 10 horse?" And you and I talked about the 10 horse, or maybe it was Charles and I forget. One day bleeds into the other. And we're like, well, it's only, I think it was you and me, only won 1 out of 28 races at Parx, and, kind of showed a little bit of regression last out. What does that horse do?
He won.
And what did he pay?
Really big.
Yeah, $45.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, man, it puts us in a no-win situation every single time, right?
Yeah.
Because if it wins, hey, you guys are idiots. And if it loses, well, thanks for telling us the obvious, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. All right, anyway. Here are our full picks for today. First 2 races in the books. It looks like our second pick won both of them, Terry. So, if it went down the card like that all the way, you and I would have a fantastic day. We'd be grateful for that. Looks like race number 3 is about to get cooking. So let's take a look at race number 3 before you and I head out of here, get ready for tomorrow. Okay. Again, tonight, Sean, Lucy with the Axeman, Luann Machado. You can catch that over on our Horse Racing Today, Radar TV, right here. Hit the subscribe button. And while you're on YouTube, there's a button that says share. Kindly click that share button and copy the code that it gives you and put that in your social sites and share what we do with your friends and family on your social media, X, Facebook, wherever it is that you communicate. Let them know about us. Help us get to 10,000. Again, free track of the day today is Terry's most favorite track in the entire world, where he tried to get the entire world to go work there. Good thing nobody listens to Terry, or they'll all be looking for a job because they'll be closing.
Yeah, that's a sad thing for me. So,
But while you're there, make sure you do click on this guaranteed tip sheet. Hit that register now button. Come on over to horseracingtoday.net, a great website. A lot of wonderful content over there. And then you'll see at the bottom an opportunity to join Terry, myself, Charles, and Thomas for the deepest look at the upcoming Breeders' Cup race. Race number 3 is off and running, Terry. It does look like the 4 horse, Lord Darnley, on the lead with the 7 horse in there, running shotgun, singing through the storm. A couple of them that showed some really speed. The 3 horse, the one we thought might be on the lead, has decided to sit itself in 3rd place. Again, I think if we remember in race number 3, that was a PC type, so didn't need the lead. Not surprising that it didn't take it, although they go through the opening quarter in a kind of slow 25 seconds. So it might have to pull itself into a little bit deeper contention in there. So as they run around the first turn there, Lord Darnley on the lead with the 7 horse, singing through the storm, riding shotgun, the 1 horse, We Be There. He's kind of getting tired of all this mess. Splits the 1 and the 4, which is pretty unusual. They ran 50.3 seconds. That's a little bit on the slow side, Mr. Terry. I would expect that these horses up front, unless the track is really like thick today, should absolutely be right there. The 3 horses on to challenge the 1 horse, although it may not get by him in here, Terry. We'll see if he can do it. He's going to need to do it for your pick 4 to stay alive. The jockey kind of looking between his legs on the 1 there a bit, Terry, to see if indeed the 3 horse is going to get up and get by him. It looks like the 3 horse is pulled up alongside. He is now taking over the lead, although the 1 horse is not going away easily. They're both battling. The 3 horse has pulled about a length ahead of the 1 horse. So the 3 horse is going to be, he kind of cuts off the 1 there a little bit, though, Terry. I don't think he'll get DQ'd because I don't think it changed the running order, although the 1 horse is now closing at the end. So we'll see what that does. 3, 1, and 2, it looks like. 3, 1, and 2 in race number 3.
Well, if it stays up there, I'm halfway through my pick 4.
I hope it does. I don't, like if I'm a steward, it's 50-50 for me. I'm probably going to want to see that, right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm watching it right now because I'm behind you a little bit.
He passes them and then cuts them off, and then the 1 re-rallies. So that's going to be tough.
He really interfered with that 1.
I think he thought he cleared and he can go down to the rail, but then the 1 horse maybe finally switch leads. That's going to be an interesting call right there, Terry.
It will be, yeah.
Because if I'm the jockey, I'm going to say, you know what, I let up down the stretch because I knew I had him beat, so I didn't really interfere. I wasn't all out. I could have gone all out. We'll see. All right, all the picks are in, 2, 5, 3, or 1 of which that we didn't have. So we're kind of hoping that the 3 stays there to keep the streak alive, Mr. Terry, of agreement and winners. Any final thoughts from you before you and I head out of here and start the prep for tomorrow's terrific Terry Tuesday at Parx?
Well, yeah, if you like what you saw here today, and I know you did, you should go to YouTube or subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube and hit the little bell, let you know when all of our programs are. And there's a lot of different programs are really good. Go down and copy the link and share it with all your friends and relatives. Give us a thumbs up and a like. And go to our social sites such as Twitter, I guess that's X now, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, I think it's called, and TikTok at the Horse Race, the number 2 day. And give us likes and thumbs up there. It helps us with algorithms. And also, good luck on the Breeders' Cup, and you'll have really good luck if you'll go ahead and register for our seminar, which will be Thursday night. You're going to want to see that. It's going to give you a lot of insight, a lot of information.
Terry's going to tell you why every horse can win and every horse can lose, right? That's all you need, right? I mean, more than that, beyond that, what else do you need? But Charles is going to tell you from his trainer and bloodstock side which horses have the pedigree and are training the best. And if you remember, Charles, he did pick Mage in the Kentucky Derby based upon what he saw in the training. Paid a nice winner for there and that. And then, of course, Thomas is our international man of intrigue. He's been, I know because I do Foreign Fridays with him. He's been studying the international horses for a year, getting ready for this, expecting horses with the eye on the Breeders' Cup. Doesn't want to miss another order of Australia. And there was a Japanese horse last year. I can't remember the name that paid a lot of money too, that one. And I think Tom was actually on that horse last year. And of course, I'm going to do all the data like you get here, and you don't get that data anywhere else. That's going to be the composite of what we do. And then, of course, we'll give you full picks from Guaranteed Tip Sheet for both days, and then the wagering guide, which focuses on all of the Breeders' Cup races. So that's what's included in that package. Again, there's a link to the description that down in there below. Terry, normally this is your part, but I'm going to say it's my part today. Friends was I a gathering moment for a lot of people, I would say, around the TV, with Matthew Perry passing away at just 54 years old, 3 years my younger. Just evidence that you just don't know when it's going to go, right? So if there's anything in your life that you feel like you should do or that you should have done that you're holding on to that's gnawing at you in here, I'm going to tell you, go do it today. Get that off of your chest, so to speak, and then make the most of what's left. Give the people around, let the people around you who are important to you, let them know they're important to you, past, present, and future. Even if you've been out of touch with them for a long time, I'm sure they'll be happy to hear from you. In any case, we hope that no matter what you're doing for the rest of your day today, no matter what it is that you want to come into your life, we certainly hope it's filled with God's blessings, and every single thing that you do today ends up in the
winner's circle.
Indeed. Thanks for joining us. Terrific. Terry and I are looking forward to joining you again tomorrow.